very interesting. You just mentioned finding your personal DNA with this project. What exactly does that mean? How do you go about doing that?
Well, the success of our nature, of humans, animals, plants, lies in the fact that we have a DNA. What is our DNA? It's like a source code of who we are, and it's the moment you've been conceived, two partial DNAs came together, formed a unique new DNA which became you. You still have the same DNA. It might be a little bit altered, but the base is the same. And if you start a project like this and you do not narrow your DNA down of this project, you will go in all directions, lose a lot of energy, do not know where you're going. And so one of the first things you need to do if you start a project like that is just brainstorm a little bit, and you can do it with your mind if you're a rational person, but that's not always a good idea.
Well, we're all a mix, aren't we, of something. So, yeah. I'm not sure I would just do it with my mind if I was starting off. I think I'd need somebody else to do it with. Or
so you have to do it with your mind, but also with your heart, with your
with your spirit, with your soul. Yeah, you have to have a feeling. Yeah,
exactly what you truly desire. Yeah. And to do that, I always do like a very nice exercise. I really love it, and I'm going to do it with you if you're okay with that.
Yes, I'll say yes.
Okay, so I want you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath and imagine yourself going through the nearest newspaper store. You buy a lottery ticket, a Euro Millions lottery ticket, and the next day you check it, you check the results. You of course are very skeptic about it, you do not believe in the lottery, it's not possible to win it. But there you go, you check your smartphone, you see that the numbers are exactly the same. Congratulations, Katrina, you just won 130 million euros.
Am I allowed to open my eyes yet or keep them closed? It was difficult not to open them because of the excitement, even though obviously it's not true. Okay, I'm closing them again. Okay.
All right, and so you book a vacation together with your loved one, and you have a brainstorm session. You talk about your life and how is it going to impact your life. What are you going to do now? Are you going to keep living where you live now? Are you going to move somewhere else? Where do you want to wake up? Where do you want to go to sleep? Where do you want to have breakfast? After you've had breakfast, what are you going to do on that day? Think about it. What's your lover's idea of it? Do you agree with each other? Where are you going? And so after 10 days on the Maldives, you go back to Brussels, rainy Brussels.
And my lawn.
On your lawn.
And my lawn, yeah.
And you decide to tell me your plans, so I'm very curious. What are your plans, Katrina?
Oh, well, definitely my plans would be to, as I said, be closer to nature than I am. I'm going into nature every day, even being a city girl, but to be closer, to live and switch the balance, I think. I would need to be near water, the sea, and I would need to be near somewhere where I could walk through. I mean, I didn't say to you this at the start, I did actually one day want to marry a farmer, not any specific farmer, I just wanted to live on a farm because I like to be out there. So it would have to be something where I could genuinely have some connection with the land. Yeah. But do I need to be more specific with you? I think I'd have to have animals.
Yeah?
You mentioned animals. Oh gosh, well, in honour of my dad, who is a director, and built a film school out of an old Victorian pig farm. Pigs. Think pigs.
For fun or to eat?
Oh, I don't think I could eat them if I had them for fun. I think that would be a bit challenging for me. Definitely. Dogs, love horses. Got kicked by one once, so not very good, but find them to be remarkable beasts.
You ride on horses?
I have done.
Yeah.
I can't claim to be fabulous, but I have indeed. The odd sheep. Who knows, maybe some alpacas. So I
Yeah.
like the idea. I'm very into, you mentioned nuts before.
Mhm.
I love nuts.
Do you? Are
I
you
think
nuts
they're
about nuts?
I am nuts about nuts. I think they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Very, very much so. Big fruit girl.
Yeah.
So for sure would need some fruit. And I don't know, because I didn't ask you this, in these food forests, because they're quite densely packed, you talked about photosynthesis,
Yeah.
you talked about the layers.
Mhm.
Does water feature anywhere or not?
Well, you can see the answer
Ah.
behind you. Water is a very important part in food forests because it regulates the ecosystem. If you watch closely, you see all kind of plants, but also all kind of animals. Look, do you see this one here?
Yep.
What's
Yep.
it called?
I don't know, we call them dragonflies in English.
Yes.
Yeah,
Dragonflies. You see bees. You see,
I
insects
hear
of
bees. Yeah.
any kinds,
Butterflies.
butterflies. And so to answer your question, water is an important part of
Yeah.
it. And you say it's densely packed, and that's what we're going to talk about a little later. But food forests, you can have like those dense food forests where it's like just forest. You do not see anything else. But like I said before, it's the edge that is so
Yes,
important.
indeed,
So
that margin. Yeah.
we need to make as many edges as possible, and to have many edges as possible, you also need to have like those big views.
Yeah.
People need those big views. I love big views, and I feel like
I think it's fundamental
Yeah.
to one's well-being.
Yeah.
And I think it's very fundamental to who we were when we literally crawled out of the primordial soup, as
Yeah,
we say.
exactly.
I think we feel it in our
Yeah.
DNA, as you
Yeah.
mentioned.
Designing is really a matter of psychology. What do you need in life? You
Yeah.
need some wall behind you, so you know that nobody can attack you from behind. It's still instinctive, and you need a view on the other side. So that's
You need an
this.
escape
An escape route.
and space.
So
Absolutely.
that's the
Yeah.
mosaic landscape. The edge, it's like you feel safe, and then
Yeah.
the openness, you have an
Yeah.
overview.
Okay.
Your DNA, it's very interesting what you've been saying. We're gonna narrow it down. So the exact why should you want to start on this adventure? What's the why? Try to say it in one sentence. Connection?
The connection with nature, for sure. But I do think I would agree with you. I think that I have also a responsibility and an obligation in some ways
Yeah.
to foster that connection
Yeah.
with nature. And I think because I have a daughter who's 11, and that's a future generation, I have even more compunction to be much more following that path.
Yeah.
It resonates more strongly, I think, when you have a child and you are already living in all of the urgency of climate change and all of the conversation around how can we better live with the planet and respect it.
So the why is very, very simple, easily graspable.
And very
It's-
personal as
Yeah,
well.
very
Yeah.
personal. So that's important,
Yeah.
and you have it. So step one is
It's good.
good.
Now I can go home and have a cup of tea.
Almost.
Okay.
There are 3 more steps. The second step is a problem. We want to solve a problem. Kind of DNA is you want to solve a problem. For example, the DNA of a tree living in a swamp. The problem is there is too much water. We need to do something
Sure.
about it, and so he or she has a special root system who can live in a swamp, for example. So, are you solving a problem with your project, like a personal problem or a problem with the world?
I don't think a personal one.
Good
But
for you.
No. But I'd be happy with the project to sort of think what could be helpful.
Yeah.
I think I would want to do something the right way. What could be a challenge, and is there once me in my small corner that I could address that?
Yeah.
I would think so, wider than
Yeah.
a personal, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is there a specific white problem you'd like to solve?
Certain things when I've moderated around environmental stuff, I do find very frightening water scarcity.
Yeah.
I do think those are going to become huge issues, not least in the developing world, in terms of migration, where people go, conflict and that. So water scarcity, and I suppose, as I said to you, because quite a lot of conversation around soil. I mean, I hear it from so many soil specialists. Oh, it's really, there is an issue. It's really threatened.
Yeah.
So I would like to do right by soil, and I would like to find the best way to work with water. And if I had animals, how can we use that waste? How can we somehow put that back in?
All right, that's well, that's very clear. So the problem you want to solve is our water scarcity, our soil degradation, and then the role or the place animals have in this planet.
Yeah.
So the problem you want to solve is how can you use those three elements, soil, water, and animals, to heal the planet, or to heal, or just to solve those three. So that's the problem. And then the solution, that's the next step. I think the solution is quite obvious. You going to restore your landscape. Start, I would call it maybe an agroforestry landscape, where you have like those bigger fields for your animals, intermingled with the nut trees you've been talking about.
Yep.
And then with water.
Some fruit and some water.
And water catchment areas.
Yeah.
So work with swales. Swale is kind of not a deep ditch, but like more sloped ditch.
Okay.
To infiltrate water. So in wadis.
Oh
like use
okay.
different elements to store water. So that's a solution. And then the fourth thing of the DNA, if you want to sell this project to municipalities, you have to give their agreement on you tinkering with the earth. You need to sell it.
Tinkering, okay.
So you have to show proof. So, okay, that's a very good story, but is it going to work? And then you say, yes, the proof is I saw it on this farm, or I saw it there, and there it worked. So that are like the four steps, the why, the problem, the solution, and the proof.
Okay.
So I think those four things are very clear for you.
Yeah, I think I'm getting there. Yeah, I do.
So this, we just need to write it down now, to frame it and put it.
And then you'll come and visit me when I'm 87 and I'm living in a lush food forest and go, oh my God, Louis was the start of that for Katrina, for that vision she had for her future.
Then my life will be been worth it, because I healed
made an impact.
Acres, yes. So that's it. So you have this basic DNA now, and now around this DNA, we're gonna have to build an entire organism.